Hi, Dr. Anne Silvestre here, coming to you from beautiful Playa Tortuga Norte in Costa Rica. I'm here with my dogs, so if they show up in the background, just say hi. So I often get asked the question, do I need to send my patient to an actual rehab center after a surgical procedure, much like an FHO, or will an at-home program be sufficient? So very honestly, if you do send them to a rehab center, clearly your patient is going to get a more comprehensive, more complete program. They're going to target the actual deficiencies and find exercises or modalities that will help those particular deficiencies, as well as bring the whole together, everything about that hind limb or the animal together. So they're going to target areas and they're going to look after the entire patient. So there he is. So clearly, probably a quicker rehabilitation process, probably a more complete outcome with an actual at rehab center program. However, that doesn't mean that the patient that gets an at-home program is being shortchanged. They can do extremely well. I think what's important is that you have a committed owner. And I also think with the at-home program, what's important is that you keep it simple. So when I do my at-home program with clients, I'm really focusing on making sure I just get that patient using that particular limb. So let's pretend it was an FHO, that they use that limb, that hip joint as best as they can. And so I'm going to follow the patient frequently, and I am going to recommend exercises that will help accomplish that. And I'm not going to worry maybe about other little things, important but little things. So I'm going to focus on the goal, on the outcome, rather than on the details on how to get there. I'm also going to keep the exercises with an at-home program simple. You know, the more stuff you give a client to do, they're busy, they've got lots going on in their lives, you know, the less likely they are to do any of it. So keep it simple. I love using just the rehab walk. That's huge. Everybody, well, almost everybody walks their dog. And I will also be sure to have them focus on the stretching and maybe range of motion of the affected joint that we're dealing with. So those are what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to make sure the client really understands the instructions, because they're it, right? The whole success is depending on, well, maybe not totally depending just on them, but you know, depending on a good rehabilitation post-op management period. Also consider that sometimes when you pay for something and you go somewhere to get the service, sometimes you're a little bit more committed to doing the homework in between the visits. You know, this is costing you a lot of money, the client a lot of money, and they're spending a fair bit of time, so they might as well participate. So when I'm doing an at-home program, I do make sure that they come back for rechecks with me frequently. I ask a lot of questions. I try to find out what's working, what's not working, and I make adjustments as necessary.